And we are now live. All right.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I'm doing all my last minute checks here as I usually do, like 10 minutes after supposed to start.
We're doing great.
Okay. I think we are ready to rock and roll. You guys ready for a countdown?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune back in the house once again. It is your boy, John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
And we've got the newly minted GTT Gems Showdown Champion, the Gems Master, Jesse Moore. Say hey. Holy
hey.
Shit. Man, showing off that gauntlet already. I am intimidated as shit. I really didn't think you were going to be able to produce that quite so quickly.
I will say it smells like glue, so I'll probably be real loopy by the end of the show.
I heard the Soul Stone smells like glue. It's yeah, it's a weird thing. If you're just joining us here on Game That Tune, I really hope you listened to last week's episode. Where Jesse won the GTT Infinity Gauntlet. Otherwise, this is going to make no sense. But tonight, we're going to listen to some video game music. We've each got 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games with the songs and a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off, have a lot of fun. And the winner at the end of the night picks the theme for the next episode. And he's not here to explain what's going on tonight, but the winner of our last official episode was David Fleming. He's still on some work thing somewhere. I think he might have actually, it's strange. I think he flew all the way from Chicago to Florida to visit his mother. And, you know, he's not hanging with any of us. So I guess it's something serious. But so the theme tonight, it's episode 156. Every 26 episodes, we do a revisit of games previously used on Game That Tune. And yeah, so it's fair game. Any of our previously used 770 games is possible on the show tonight. So yeah, we got 3 great games. We got a great fan request, and I think we should just start off with that. So Johnny, let's hit it, man. Game 1.
Game 1.
Jesse, what did you do?
Whoa.
We did like Burnout 3 like twice one episode. We're not playing that fucking game again. And you know, also, like, this episode was for David. David being on this episode is inevitable.
Hey guys,
David.
What's up?
Hey man, you don't look like you're visiting your sick mother.
Oh,
David,
no,
is that a Hawaiian shirt?
No, guys, no, she's so sick. Yeah, like I had this huge work function, and then I had to fly down to Florida. Like, yeah, I was gone for very official reasons. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what's up? I think the more pressing question is, how did I get here? Like,
It's complicated, man. I'm sure Jesse can use the time stone and get you back into the GTT Gem Showdown, and you'll know exactly what's been going on. So, Jesse, did you just snap the request out of existence?
Yeah, that we're not doing the Burnout 3 thing. I told you. Fuck
Okay,
that. I used the
cool.
Tim Fallen gem and arpeggioed that fucker out of here.
Good call. Good call. I was also tired of Burnout 3. David, since you're here, I hope you've got 3 songs prepared for tonight's show. Because now that we don't have a request, we're going to need you to actually be on the show. So thanks for rejoining us. David, say hey.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm obviously prepared for Game That Tune.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, who's not? It's Wednesday night. Why wouldn't you be ready? So, wow, Jesse, great utilization of the GTT Infinity Gauntlet. And Johnny, let's start off with the new Game 1.
Game 1.
All right, guys. So this is the original NES
trivia.
version of the game, but there is a Sega Genesis edition of it that's going to be re-released in America for the first time in a long time on the upcoming Sega Genesis Mini.
So we still need to show our answers, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
All right, let's see here. Hey, John, I didn't get enough time to read yours. No, I know you wrote Mega Man 3. It's a hat trick. Everyone got this right. So this is
Hell yeah.
Mega Man 3 for the NES.
Isn't this the second time you yourself have chosen Mega Man 3 for the show? I think I
Yes,
think you chose it
is.
last time we used it too.
I did choose it last time.
Yeah,
See, for
because
some
I remember
reason, John Harrington, I thought you had chosen. Oh no, you didn't, because that's the source of the Top Man.
Top Man.
You're a real son of a bitch. You know that?
Yeah.
Which was almost in the episode 100 free play jingle.
Top Man's great. You know, the more I've listened to it since that episode, I'm like, yeah, there's no wrong choices from this soundtrack, except maybe Needle Man. But you know, no disrespect to any of those Needle boys out there. Mega Man 3. So Johnny, you say this is it's a remake on the Sega Genesis classic. Is that what Mega Man the Wily Wars is?
Yes, Mega Man the Wily Wars is Mega Man's 1 through 3, remade for the Sega Genesis. Plus, I think there's a few unique stages to it called like Wily's Tower or something like that. I'm not super sure.
Yeah, I feel like there's like an extra mode where it's like a tower. Because I remember I got the Mega Man anniversary art book, and they have art for like 3 unique bosses that are based on, I want to say, like Journey to the West. There's like a monkey robot, like a pig robot, and some other kind of animal robot that you have to fight.
Nope.
Nice.
I support that.
And yeah, that game was so the due to some weird licensing deal with Capcom, Mega Man the Wily Wars was released in Europe, but in America it was only released on the Sega Channel.
Ew.
So the only way to play it in the US was to turn on your Sega Genesis, leave it on while they broadcast the game, and then play it, and once you turned your Sega Genesis off, it was gone.
That's crazy. I mean, props to them for trying something like that, but like, how widespread was that service in America? Like, did people know about that? Did that happen a lot? Did a lot of people use the Sega Channel around here?
I knew it existed. I could not get my parents to get a subscription to it. I don't know if
So
they
was
even
this
checked
like-
how much it cost, to be honest. I don't think they were just like, we're not doing that.
It's
So
like,
was this
Dad, can I
like
have
an-
access to a paid channel? Oh, yes, son. What are you thinking? HBO, Cinemax? It's like, no, the Sega Channel, it strictly broadcasts one Sega game at a time into my Genesis. Nah.
Okay, so this was like a TV channel. It wasn't like a pre-internet broadcasting thing. It was a legit like television channel.
Well, no, it was a I don't want to say pre-internet because the internet was there.
Well, but I mean, like, it wasn't like you have to get an adapter to connect your Genesis to an internet signal. Like, it was through the television?
No, so it was like the Satellaview for the SNES, right? Like, you had to get an adapter.
Pretend that I don't have a good grasp on what that is.
So you would have to get an adapter.
It's all there in the title. It views Sadella's.
You would have to get an adapter and plug it into like your cable outlet coming out of the wall, right? It didn't go through. It went over the same cables, just like cable internet does, but it was specific, content for the Sega Genesis on that channel. I don't think there's a TV aspect to it. I think it was just, maybe there was. That's actually a pretty good question. But like, it had a way where you could I think you could send little emails to each other using your Sega Genesis.
That's insane.
Yeah, you
'Cause
could
I'm just
submit
trying to
high
think, like,
scores, download games, things like that.
If this is like an internet type service, like for the Sega Genesis, I mean, the mainstream internet usage didn't hit until like 98, 99. So it was like, how did anyone play this?
Yeah.
Yep, you bought the little adapter, you paid extra for the channel, and you did
No,
it.
I know logistically, but
And
shut up, John.
Andrew Oliver in the chat is letting us know that Sega Channel peaked out at 250,000 subs. That's honestly more than I would have expected.
That is far more than I would have expected.
That's like some Game of Thrones numbers.
Yeah, man, for 94. Like, whoa. I didn't realize Sega Channel was such a cultural phenomenon.
You heard it here, folks. Sega Channel, the Game of Thrones of the Sega Genesis.
I do think Sega Channel was only in a
what?
few markets in the U.S. I think it was only in a few big cities. I don't know if we even could get it in St. Augustine.
That's what I was gonna. That's like, as you were describing that, I'm like, how in the fuck would that be everywhere? Like, that seems highly unfeasible. Like,
It's
but anyway,
everywhere in the country, including New York, Los Angeles, and Houston for some reason.
big city. Those Texans, man, they love their Mega Man Wily Wars. But enough about that. Let us recast Game of Thrones with characters from Mega Man 3. So, John, go for it, man. Who is the Jaime Lannister of Mega Man 3?
Gemini Man.
See, yep, twins, baby. They have sex with each other. Let's see. Who's the Arya of? See, there's a problem with Mega Man. It's all men. Wait, who?
Needle Man.
Oh yeah, Jesse, this is too easy for you, my friend.
See, I kind of feel like, and this is coming from someone who has never seen Game of Thrones, that Arya would be Shadow Man, because that's the one that everybody likes and is waiting to like get away from the rest of the cast and do their own thing.
It's true, except Arya does carry a weapon literally called Needle, so Jesse is dead right on this one. Go for it, Jesse. Just recast the rest of the show. Use up the last six bosses.
I got one.
Okay, go.
Daenerys Snake Man.
Because
Daenerys controls the dragons and Snake Man has those giant snake reptile mini bosses.
I would have
close enough.
I would have went with the one of the snake assassin ladies from Dorne or whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah, but as people who watched Game of Thrones recently know, Dorne just doesn't exist anymore.
No,
it didn't happen.
Because the king or whatever was in those one episodes, and you know what? That's fucking Bashir from Deep Space Nine. I didn't even fucking realize it. So we got fucking Star Trek on Game That Tune, or not Game That Tune.
Game That Thrones.
We should get Star Trek people to come on Game That Tune.
We should make
Oh
Game
my
That
god,
Throne.
Michael Dorn needs to be on this show now.
That would be amazing.
I would gladly replace Johnny with Worf.
I could see as Dr. Wily as Sir Davos.
I'll buy it.
Let's see.
Does that mean Mega Man's Jon Snow?
Ugh.
Well, kind of. You know why? Because he knows nothing until he kills the robot masters and gets their abilities. So until that, he knows nothing. And Jon Snow.
You're right.
Also,
let's see.
he can die and come back to life. So
the Mountain is Hardman.
yeah.
Shit, what beats Hardman? So I guess that makes the Hound Magnet Man. Oh man, this is it's getting tough as we get into some of these. So Johnny, who's Top Man on Game of Thrones?
God, I gotta look up who Top Man is. I don't even remember. Is he just a guy who's like a?
He's
top?
shaped like a top, John.
What is there to know? It's
Sorry,
right in
I
the
want to
name.
take this moment to just pause the discussion to ask who chose Mega Man 3 for the show?
I gotta look up Top Man. What?
And okay, so yeah, I'm trying to think of who the stupidest character on Game of Thrones is. That's who Top Man should be.
Intelligence wise, or just they're just a dumb character.
They're just a dumb, pointless character.
Okay, that's a fun thought. Who would be?
So like the Tully guy, the guy that tries to speak at the king
election,
that dude gets shouted down.
I got a good idea. They're all like,
yeah, I have many experiences in government. Uncle, sit down.
Yes,
Top Man is Uncle Sit Down. I'm sure we overlooked somebody, but it's not terribly important. Mega Man 3, I'd argue at this point, better than Game of Thrones. It didn't botch its finish, baby. It brought back everything in a satisfying way. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And we could we could bring the dragon from Mega Man 2 in to be one of
True
the
that.
So.
I love it.
What were the Wily bosses in Mega Man 3? Because I know there's a section where you fight the Doc Robot, and then I know you fight Gamma as the final boss, but I'm trying to remember. It's like, because Mega Man 2 has the Guts Dozer, and it has the dragon, and that fucking room that spits bubbles at you. But I'm trying to remember, it's like, what were the castle bosses in Mega Man 3? I don't remember them at all.
Well, one of them, there was definitely like the Return of the Yellow Devil.
Right.
Gotta love that guy. There was like a boss that was just like it was like a weird like crane machine, like a claw machine game. And then let's see, eventually you fight like a shadow Mega Man, and then you have to fight
Okay.
You have to fight the 8 redone versions of the Mega Man 2 bosses, which is the sickest fucking thing that's ever happened in games. Because, like, again, yeah, you're fucking going through the Wily Castle, and a robot you don't recognize appears, and then, like, Bubble Man's soul lowers into him, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it gets real in a hurry. I love it. Yeah. Can't believe Dr. Wily made copies of all those robots' souls just to put them in, some robot slugs and use them again. That's genius, man. That that needs to come back in more Mega Man games.
I think it's so crazy
that
the Wily Wars happened at all. Like, that's something I want to know how that happened, why it happened, why only the Sega Channel in the US. Like, what the hell? Who decided
just
that?
Sega being Sega, always way too ahead of the game with their
I think it was
decent
Capcom being
ideas.
Capcom. I think it was Capcom being like, look, we got a thing with Nintendo going on.
Well, they were putting Street Fighter on
the Genesis.
the Genesis.
Yeah.
So
True
I
that.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Sega to say, hey, we have this awesome service and we want people to buy it, so your game can only come out on this.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, they really thought Wily Wars was going to drive subscriptions in the U.S. That's got to be it. And it worked. We love the Sega Channel.
Yeah.
It's my second most watched channel. Nickelodeon and Sega Channel. That's it, baby. That's all I needed.
and Spice right after that.
I was going to say, that's the thing. But man, you ever try to like play Mega Man 3 when it comes in all fuzzy because you don't actually have the Sega Channel? Only 90s kids, baby.
I think I saw Dr. Wily.
Yeah,
yes, I think I saw Dr. Wily's titty.
To say, of all of the video game download channels, the Sega Channel is probably my second most well known.
Episode title: Dr. Wily's titty.
Is it just Dr. Wily's titty or there's Dr. Wily's titty?
That's
saw it.
good too. Either way.
Definitely saw it. Oh, that's hot. Anyway, fuck yeah, man. Mega Man 3 is great. Johnny, anything else on this? Have you figured out what Top Man looks like?
I just know, but I'm definitely going to go subscribe to the Sega Spice channel. I'm really excited about it.
Excellent. Good call, man. Let's go.
Game 2.
Oh, whoops.
one of the characters in this game wears a shirt that features an image resembling a Game Boy with a link cable, a reference to prior entries in this series. I do have a second piece of trivia if that would be helpful. So one of the characters in this game has an alternate form that is part ghost, which is likely a reference to a non-playable ghost form of that character in the original game in this series.
I think that helped.
So who's got some dick drawings? All right, so John Harrington has a drawing of a penis. Jesse Moore says Mario Golf something, and John Regan has the correct answer of Pokemon Sun and Moon.
What?
Wow.
So
good job.
One of the characters, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the trial captain for the electric trial, has a shirt with a Game Boy and a link cable, because that's how you traded Pokemon originally. And Alolan Marowak is part ghost type, because the ghost that you fought in Lavender Tower was a Marowak.
Oh yeah.
I forgot that Alolan Marowak was part ghost type. I don't know what I thought it was. Isn't its bone on fire? I thought maybe it was like part hula dancer or something.
Yeah,
should
it's
see a
like
doctor.
it's now a
part,
ghost
part resort
type,
employee.
based on Hawaiian fire dancers, because it's set in Alola, which is not Hawaii, but basically Hawaii.
Right. Yeah, it's also funny because I kind of forgot that we used this game and then as like it washed over me, I'm like, oh yeah, we did use this game, and I steamrolled the whole segment for an elaborate, awful comedy bit, and David didn't get to actually say anything of substance about the game.
I have been so excited for our next redo episode because the last time we featured this game, John had an amazing, incredible, inspired bit where he created Alolan forms of all of the Kanto Pokemon, which was hilarious, but also took like 8 minutes, and we never got to say shit about this game.
It was
and
the whole segment.
Really
by
like
design.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Well, David,
Yeah.
I've got a surprise for you. I've created a second list.
All right, Johnny, start reading them.
All Generation 2
Yeah, let's hear 'em.
Pokemon. I didn't
Oh, I
actually do
can't
this. I
wait.
can't even name a Generation 2.
Do it, baby.
Is Mudkip a Generation 2 Pokemon? I don't even know.
He
Gen
is,
3.
baby. I heard you like him.
What's amazing is that you can't name a single Generation 2 Pokemon, but Porygon 2 is a Gen 2 Pokemon, and that feels like the type of thing that you would come up with.
Mm.
That's the classic. But Mudkip is a Gen 2 Pokemon, right?
No, Mudkip is Gen 3.
Fuck!
Oh.
I don't know anything about Mudkip.
I guess
I
you
was
don't
gonna
like
say,
them.
because that's when we were talking about Gen 4 and Diamond and Pearl. It's like, I heard you like Mudkip. It's like, Mudkip is in this game. What?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I didn't think I over. Fuck it. Like,
Anyway,
I'm not
Pokemon
bringing up
Sun and
Mudkip
Moon.
ever again.
So these
What
games
is the Alolan form of Mudkip, David?
There are no Alolan forms of Mudkip because the Alolan forms were reserved for the original 150. And that was done very deliberately because this was the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. So they wanted to show that Pokemon are like evolving living creatures. Like, well, if they went to another area, they'd probably be different. Also,
Hell yeah.
let's use nostalgia to bring people back into this. Like,
It's a very good idea. I hope they revisit it with Sword and Shield because I want to see British versions of all the Pokemon.
oh my God, yes. And
Let us resume the bit, name the 150 Pokemon in their British forms.
no, damn it, I'm going to talk about this game because I enjoyed the first Pokemon. I got out of it, and then I tried playing Black and White and couldn't get into it. I got X and Y, and I got to the end of the game and just kind of stopped because I was like, man, whatever. Like, I was pretty done. And then I got Sun and Moon, and this game just kind of captivated me. I really loved this game. And I think I loved it because of, like, how much it shook up the formula. There are no gyms in this game. Like, instead, there are 4 islands. And every island has a set amount of like trials, and each trial is based on a Pokemon type. So you go and you complete that trial, and you get a Z crystal, which gives you a superpower move of whatever type it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you complete all the trials, you can challenge the Kahuna of the island, which is kind of like a gym battle. And then once you
Well-
do that, you can move on to the next island.
Do the
Right.
trials have leaders? Like a trial
Yes.
leader?
But it's not, the trials do have a leader, but it's not like, okay, you just have to beat my Pokemon. Like, sometimes it's like a puzzle thing. Like, you'll I think it was the grass trial. You had to go through a forest and find like certain ingredients for a soup, and then once you give them to the person, it's like, okay, you've completed the trial, I can make my special soup, here's your crystal and everything. Some of them were battles. I think it was the water one. There was like a giant water Pokemon that you had to fight and beat.
Called the Ocean, David.
Yeah, the ocean is a Pokemon in this game.
Big
You
water.
can catch the ocean.
Oh
It's
man.
like
Big
Moana.
wet. Oh man, God, can we get Moana for the next Pokemon? That'd be
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now,
be a good crossover.
Thank you.
you-
Does Disney own this yet?
No, not yet.
Okay,
Um,
soon.
But that was now I want a Pokemon Sword and Shield crossover with the Great Mouse Detective. Like, can that be a thing
Yeah.
that exists?
now you say
The
there's-
Great Pikachu Detective? Oh wait, that's already a thing.
You said that there's 4 islands. Would you say that the person you fight, the head of the island, is an elite Pokemon trainer? 'Cause it sounds a lot
So-
like that's the Elite 4 just spread out.
Eventually, you do get to the Elite Four, and I think
Oh.
2 of them are Island Kahunas, and the other 2 are new characters. Because that's so. This game's been out for a while. Do you mind if I spoil any of the story to Pokemon Sun and Moon?
There's a story.
There's actually a pretty good story.
You go to
And
a
we're about
beautiful
to hear
island
it.
and you find that Pokemon are a little different here. And you find a tiki idol that's ruining your vacation. And then eventually you fight the Elite Four and the Brady Bunch is there.
Well, see, interestingly,
Close
like
enough.
More or less.
Because Alola is like its own separate region, they don't have a Pokemon League, so they don't have an Elite Four, they don't have a gym system and everything. And then as you go from island to island, they kind of build one as you go. So you are a Pokemon champion, not because you toppled like the long lineage, but because you're the first one to do it. Like they kind of build everything around you. And then when you get to the end, like the Pokemon champion you fight after the Elite Four is actually the professor of the region, because he's like, yeah, I've studied everything and you're the best, so let's do this. And then you beat him and become the first ever champion.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Are you white?
You don't have to be. Like,
Just say, man, this feels like a colonialism game, and I'm not into it. Like,
Oh.
you go to the
Oh.
islands and fucking start like ruining their traditions.
You're asking if
and
you're asking if David's character is white. I thought you were asking David if he's white.
No, just I mean the character in the game. Like, are you a white guy going to these pristine islands and changing them, and then eventually you champion them? Like, oh no!
no, this had a very robust character creation system. When I played the game, I was a black woman, and I was very proud.
I'm in
Yeah.
favor of it. Jackie Brown goes to Pokemon Island. I'm in.
Basically, yeah. There's
that crossover.
also like so you have the evil team, which is like Team Skull, who is a bunch of fucking numbskulls. Like they are incompetent and they are amazing.
I love
So
those guys. Oh,
so you
just
think
on
that-
having not played this, I just love the visual and just everything about that stupid ass team. Like,
They're so good.
they're great.
And you think like you're gonna have to fight them as this criminal underground, but you end up fighting like there's a scientific group who's like trying to train Pokemon and whatnot, and they're using them for experiments, and they turn out to be the evil team. And you meet up with the daughter of like the leader who stole one of the like Pokemon. And I'm trying to remember the name. It's like a cosmic star Pokemon that she hides in the bag to like sneak it away and everything. And then eventually that Pokemon evolves into the legendary, either Solgaleo or Lunala. So like, as it turns out, you've met the legendary the entire time, and then it just slowly builds up. It's not like you go through the game and then there's a magic legendary Pokemon that's just hanging out on this mountain all day, not doing shit.
Right, exactly. It's not just waiting for you in a cave. So wait, you said that somebody smuggled this legendary in their bag?
Yeah. So it starts off as like a very small Pokemon that keeps trying to like break out, and then eventually like it grows bigger and then evolves into whichever legendary is based on the version that you have.
That seems dangerous, man. Like, does this island not have customs?
I think it's a lesson in invasive species. I think it's
it's the Simpsons Australia episode all over again.
Except instead of bullfrogs, it's frokies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
David
She
sounds
brought
like
a Chazwazza. And-
well, Froakie sounds like Australian for frog.
Yeah, I think it is actually. It's not even a made-up word. It's just Australian. But yeah, so somebody smuggles in a Chazwazza, and it ends up just overtaking the Alolan region as a legendary Pokemon. It's I like it. I like that there's a story behind it, but still, it seems like no outside flora or fauna, please.
I mean, I agree. It sounds like a very dangerous customs, like environmental hazard in this game about pitting small animals to beat the shit out of each other.
Well, not
Yeah.
you said in the Alola Isles they don't really do that, and here you come along starting this underground Pokemon fight club.
They have Pokemon battles, they just don't have the league.
I
It's just
don't
street
know,
battles.
I
You
get
come
I
in
see-
Vince McMahon the whole thing.
Cheat Pokemon.
No, I like that there's a story
Crowd
behind the
yourself
region,
champion.
but it's easy to start just needling. Like, seriously, how you gonna have a Pokemon game set in a region where Pokemon battling wasn't a thing? Like, yeah, no. Like, it's
It was
it's
a
a
thing.
re-
It just wasn't formalized.
right. And then you show up and you're like, bitch, where's my badge? And it's like, I'm sorry, did you just capture one of our island gods? You can't have, Tapu Koko or whatever his name is. Like,
Yeah, that
we
was weird.
worship
That,
him.
that was weird. It's like, here are these ancient island gods, and you just fucking
Got
roll up
him!
and catch it.
You want one?
Yes. Hope you got your master balls ready. You gotta catch the local deity.
Oh man.
But it,
Ugh.
I mean, addition to like the gyms, it shook up other things. HMs don't exist. You just have like
That was great.
That was
That
probably
is
amazing.
the best
honestly, I
thing.
was gonna be like, and I'm like, wait, no, fuck that, because there was always the designated like HM machine Pokemon in your like early parties in like red and blue. Like there's all of Johnny's Game Shark Mews that fucking knew all the HMs, so you could do everything.
And there was nothing worse than getting into a battle and having 5 of your Pokemon knocked out. It's like, all right, let's go with HM. Fuck.
Yep. Transmew, go! Transmew used Fly. Oh, fuck. This
really
isn't
did call
going
him that.
well.
But I loved
Yeah, I remember
the,
you traded me Transmew, baby.
the Z crystals that you get from the trials. They basically like you can give them to your Pokemon and they power up one move, which was cool because everybody has that Pokemon of like a certain type that's not good, but you love them. Like Flareon is a shitty fire type,
Whoa.
but Flareon's pretty cool. And if you give them that Z crystal, like all of a sudden they have one fire move that'll just fuck up the other team. Like no matter what Pokemon you have, you can give them a strong move. So I
Now-
really appreciated that.
Question is the guy that literally hasn't played the game. This Z crystal you're talking about, is it consumed or is it like a worn like rune that you can like transfer between Pokemon?
It's like a held item that you can
Okay,
channel.
good.
Yeah.
In that case, good. 'Cause, yeah,
And
like,
there are certain
if you have to get
Pokemon,
that many
like-
Z crystals, that just sounds annoying. But yeah,
There
an
are
item,
certain-
that's good.
there are certain Pokemon, like all of the starters, I think Pikachu and Eevee, like they have their own special Z crystal. And then there's a Z crystal for like every single type of move. So there's an electric one, grass one, and what have you. But yeah, I really like this game, and it really kind of stuck with me and gravitate towards it.
Did you play Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon?
I did not. Mainly because there were parts of Sun and Moon where like you'd be walking through a city and they'd have like a section under construction and like, oh, we're gonna be building a building. It's like, oh, I can't wait. Like they're gonna release another version, like, you know, Pokemon Crystal or Pokemon Platinum or whatever. It's like, I can't wait. And then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out and they didn't really add that much to it. It's like, y'all were teasing shit and man.
Yeah. But it's
So,
Ultra, David. It's Ultra now.
does this? I think this shows my age a bit. When you said that you go through the game in these areas that are under construction, I don't assume that it's gonna be an update or DLC or an expansion. I assume this is an area of the game you haven't unlocked yet. Just like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, like the bridge is under construction until you complete whatever mission, and then suddenly the bridge opens. Same idea.
Yeah. No, not like that.
Is it
I'm
not
just
like
saying
that
that, yeah.
anymore?
No.
Does it say under construction? Like, please wait for the DLC or the next release, or like, because I would also think like, oh, you're just in a town and there's some construction going on. It must be, you know, I don't know, the right season or something. You know, they're building something. That's just part of the town. It's part of the local flavor. But no, I don't take all video game construction to mean that something new is coming at some point. But maybe that's how it is now. Damn.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how I took it in Pokemon, just because there's always that next game that comes out. Like,
Right.
but
Damn,
yeah, I really like this game, and it got me really excited for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like, I can't wait for Sword and Shield.
Yep. Well, hell yeah, man. I'm you know, I really need to catch up on these. I got X
I'm
and Y
glad I
at
was
one
finally
point.
able to talk about this game.
Yeah, me too, man. So, before we go, have you figured out what the Alolan form of Mudkip would be?
I would assume that it would be a Mudkip with a margarita.
The Mudkip Arita. I'm into it.
Oh god, it
and I
sounds like
can't
you turned
decide-
a Mudkip into a margarita, John. Ugh.
And I can't decide if it's a Mudkip holding a margarita or a Mudkip like bathing in a giant margarita.
Ooh.
Also good. So
Why
what
not both?
see, I don't even know. Like, what does Mudkip evolve into? Like a giant swamp lizard? Like,
It's
Yeah.
not great.
I want to say it turns into like water and ground, maybe.
yeah, I'm trying. You know, yeah, it does. Water ground, marsh tomp. Ugh, God, I don't need to know these things.
Although
I like Mudkip wallowing in a margarita, and he's drinking the margarita that he's wallowing in.
Yeah,
No, I like
dude.
the
Yeah.
idea of Mudkip,
Mudkip in like a
wallowing
kiddie pool
margarita,
full of margarita.
drinking a margarita. Just like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Mudkip, last man on earth. He's in a margarita pool, just
Yep.
drinking the whole margarita. That's the way it should be.
Last
Um,
last Pokemon on Earth, and it's a Mudkip.
and it's a Mudkip. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
I
So
heard you
great
like
pick,
that.
David. And go for it, unless it's time to keep going.
No, I was gonna say the only thing that I was gonna say is a lot of the new Pokemon in this game were awesome. There was the giant Clydesdale ground horse. There was the fucking bug electric type who had pincers that were a railgun. There was the drunk boxing crab. Like
I like
there were
drunk
some
boxing
awesome
crab.
fucking Pokemon in this game.
Yeah, and the fucking the monkeys that appear to maybe be playing Aussie rules football or rugby.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
There was like a rugby football monkey, and then there was an orangutan who was a psychic with a fan for some reason.
Wasn't there one
Yeah,
that
man.
was literally a pile of trash?
That's in Pokemon Black and White, and goddamn it, we covered this in the last episode where we had Sun and Moon. We've
Okay.
done this bit, Johnny.
yeah.
It's not.
There's
a bit,
there's
it's a
definitely a
real
Pokemon
question.
that's like. There's a Pokemon that's a busted up sandcastle, and I like that because it seems like it's only there to kill children.
Yeah, it's like Ground and Ghost, and it will like literally drag people under the sand and kill them.
Yeah, isn't that
Fucking
great?
terrifying. God, I'm gonna get my money back from that Disney Alolan Resort. But anyway, Johnny, let's keep it going, man.
Game 3.
incoming softball. So 3 of the people that worked on this game you might have heard of: Hironobu Sakaguchi, Akira Toriyama, and Nobu Uematsu. All right, guys.
God damn.
That I gotta play that song every fucking time.
I want to know if David has this one figured out.
I have a guess.
Oh, that's dope.
All right. Johnny says Wolfenstein. No. And John and David both say Blue Dragon, which is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So this is Blue Dragon from episode 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
God,
man. See, that's why I have this song and this game forever burned in my brain, is because this is one of the first like games that ever like blew my fucking mind on Game That Tune, because you brought this for episode 2, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, hold on, what the fuck? Like, this is amazing. And guess what? 154 episodes later, I still don't really know what it is.
This is reaching back to my first appearance on Game That Tune.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and my second.
Shut up,
Yeah.
John.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's good shit. So Blue Dragon still, I believe, exclusive to the Xbox 360.
Yes, although with their backwards compatibility thing, you can play it on Xbox One. But still, this game needs to be ported to Switch tomorrow. Like, come on.
I
'Cause
don't remember if we have a sound for this, but would you say this is perfect for Switch?
it is so perfect for Switch.
Come.
Yeah. That works.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, this game is so like it's one of my favorite RPGs for sure. I watched this IGN review from when it came out, and this dude was like slagging on it and stuff, and I'm but the way he was doing it, it just I don't know, it didn't sound like he legitimately played it. But then at the end, he was like, "But if you're an RPG fan, it's like, so what are you saying?"
Yeah, you can't have it all the ways.
like come on. But yeah, that boss music had Ian Gillan and Nobuo Uematsu, two great tastes that you had no idea would taste great together. Like
Yeah.
Ian Gillan from Deep Purple. Like, come on, guys. Like, if you're listening and you don't know who Deep Purple is, I challenge you to check them out because they're pretty good. They probably are an inspiration for a lot of the stuff that you do like. So
Right. You know, so they inspired the entire Final Fantasy series then. Like, they were a big influence on Uematsu.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, Uematsu always loved like hard rock and metal and stuff and progressive stuff.
Yeah,
So-
dude. Uematsu's great.
Because like
Is he okay? Have we heard anything about him?
I haven't. But that
Yeah.
means we haven't heard anything bad. So
That's what I'm saying. To my knowledge, he is alive, which is good. But yeah, like I heard he had fallen ill, and I was incredibly worried that we were about to lose like one of video game music's
he
most
did, didn't
important
he? Yeah.
people.
I don't
And
know.
I haven't really heard anything about that since then, which I'm taking as a fine development. Yeah, man. Shout out to Uematsu, the true OG of like all video game music. Probably the greatest.
Well, I mean, I don't want to start this debate, but I think it's
Let
debatable.
us start it.
But I think
What
it's
debate?
debatable. Like, if we're going to talk about like the true OG of video game music, it's Uematsu and Koji Kondo are
Well,
like
yeah,
neck and neck.
for sure.
Yeah. But I mean,
There can be more than one.
exactly. OGs.
Okay,
But-
well then there's no debate. So Blue
just saying,
Dragon.
Coach Kondo, great sound designer, composed some iconic tunes. Uematsu always felt like he was pushing the envelope a little maybe ahead of what Koji Kondo was trying to do. Like the Final Fantasy soundtracks were fucking like envelope pushing back in the day. Koji Kondo just kind of, making fantastic Mario tunes and Nintendo music.
He did put an opera in Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but have you heard some of those Zelda soundtracks?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, they're great.
I'm a big fan of both men. I'm not
Yeah.
really debating this. I'm more just
No.
saying like, hey, it's 1A and 1B. Like, those guys are they're chocolate and peanut butter, baby. They go together. They make great things. They really should collaborate.
Oh my god, they should collaborate.
Listen, I know we're talking about how great Ian Gillan is, but have you heard Koji Kondo's singing voice? It'd be pretty good. So, like,
Oh
I
man.
think he could surpass the man from Deep Purple, Koji Kondo, just doing a cappella versions of Uematsu tracks. I think it'd be pretty good. I
Yeah.
buy that.
That's definitely perfect for Switch as well.
Indeed, it is. But yeah, so Blue Dragon, a fantastic Xbox 360 exclusive RPG. And the thing that I feel like we touch on the least about this, the Toriyama character designs.
Oh, they're beautiful. Like the characters look cool. the monsters are all awesome looking. Like all the robots and stuff are neat. They so they like to have like mascot monsters in a lot of these RPGs. You know, like Dragon Quest with the slime and stuff. Well, for whatever reason, in this game, they decided their mascot thing was going to be called a poo snake, and so
Love
and
it.
they're like snakes that look like piles of poop, and sometimes they leave piles of poop that you have to look through to find money. So
Okay, so man, was this game just like way ahead of its time? Like, how far behind? Like, how far ahead of meme culture was this game? 'Cause
Yeah.
it seems like it would be a fucking hit now.
yeah,
Okay, so I've just looked up a quick image of a poo snake, and it literally
Tell me you just
looks like,
googled poo snake, no other words.
and I mean, it looks
I'm
like
feeling lucky.
it looks like the poop emoji with a snake head and
Yep.
arms and legs.
Yes.
Like, it's fucking great.
Dude.
And like sometimes you'll find like equipment. Like I was watching some videos and someone had equipped a poo bracelet, and it's like, ooh, I don't think I'd equip that.
I never mean to equip my poo bracelet. It just kind of happens.
It gives me +5 charisma. Oh, what's
Yeah.
in that poo? Jeez.
How?
Where are you going?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. And actually, I guess the other thing we'd never bring up. So, what's Sakaguchi's involvement in all this?
Oh, he wrote it.
Okay, tight.
So he was part of Miss Walker, and he did like that. Lost Odyssey, which was great.
Right.
And there was one on Wii, Last Story. I never got to play that one, but I heard it was pretty cool and different.
Yeah, I never got into those late era Wii RPGs, and I know I missed out on Last Story and Xenoblade Chronicles. So, I should have picked those up. So, if that's three great flavors coming together, what is something that is classically three great flavors coming together? Because I said that, like, fucking the
Well,
music
technically
and the
4
character.
with Ian Gillan. So
Okay, yeah. So fuck, what's a something that's famously four great flavors coming together? Is it just 2 Reese's cups?
like a
No.
BLT with something else on it.
Avocado.
Ooh, like an
Regular-
avocado
yeah.
BLT.
See,
Yeah,
Or
there
the
you go.
blat, if you will.
A blat.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Blat
Fuck, man.
seems to pair with the poo snake, so I think we should go with Blat.
Oh God, yeah. That's that seems about right, man. That's good shit. Literally a blat. That's good shit.
Yeah, good poo. Oh man, and okay, there's this one cave where you gotta farm the fuck out of poo snakes, and I forget what like there's this very good reason to do it. But it's a cave where all
just
you fight is
because?
like certain poo snakes. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that too.
Achievement unlocked. Farmed a shitload of poo snakes.
So I know that we had established that the episode title should be "I Found Dr. Wiley's Tit," but I'd like to petition that the episode title should be "Farming Poo Snakes."
That's pretty good, too.
It's up in there, baby.
I won't argue. It's anyone's game.
Hashtag farming a fuckload of poo snakes.
That's what I do when I wake up in the morning.
That's what you call a group of poo snakes. A fuckload. It's their technical term.
So I thought you were gonna say a farm, like a herd of buffalo, a farm of poo snakes.
Yeah, here they
Oh
go.
man. See, yeah, that's also but see, I also started thinking about just like Stardew Valley, but everything is poo. Like
Star Poo Valley.
I hear,
everything.
Writes itself.
I hear farming poo snakes, and that just sounds like a nicer term for like a wastewater treatment plant. Like what do you do for a living, John? I farm poo snakes.
Yeah.
So it's just- it's
Way
just
too into
like
the practical like city management of it all, man. I'm thinking strictly video games. They've never made a wastewater themed fucking video game. Maybe it's about time. Like, or wait, was
farming?
that Pipe Dream?
I think
What?
it's Poo City 3000.
Yeah, Poo.
I hear farming poop snakes, and I feel like it's a euphemism for when you have the shits bad after drinking. Like, how was your morning? I was super hungover, and then I started farming poo snakes, and it was just a bad day, man.
David,
I farmed a serious poo snake, one solid piece. It was sticking up out of the water. You don't even want to know about it.
David, before the show's over, have 10 more drinks, okay? And then go to work tomorrow and tell somebody that.
Right, I recorded a
man.
podcast, and then I was farming poo snakes.
Yeah. Excuse me.
You heard me.
I think I
need to talk to HR.
I think I gotta quit drinking.
Come
man.
back to the
but
bathroom,
anyway,
I'll show ya.
Oh wait, yeah, shit. That was the cue that I was supposed to do. Yeah,
You messaged me.
yeah, I know. Sorry.
Hang on. Clean break. I'm sorry, John. Did you say you need to quit drinking?
I'm saying I've been drinking so much. I've been thinking about farming poo snakes, and it's affecting my brain. I was saying I think I need to go get another drink before we start game 4.
It's that
So-
fucking mind
Four.
gem.
All right, guys. So this game's main character is based on several possible old cartoon characters, most notably a character from the cartoon Omocha Baku Shirizo Daisan wa Ihan Sinkyu ha Kasen Jiroko no Ken. All right, guys, I apologize if that trivia tripped you up. I actually did misspeak. So the name of the cartoon that the character was based on is Omocha Baku Shirizo Daisan wa Ihan Sinkyu ha Kasan Jiroko Nin. I'm very sorry for making that mistake.
Okay, if I get this wrong, I'm blaming you.
I'm convinced that's just a bunch of Japanese Street Fighter characters smashed together.
Quiet, John. That's very racist. And everybody says Cuphead, and they're all correct. It's a hat trick, baby.
And this is
hell yeah, fellas.
This is the point where you say that long ass title is just like the Japanese release name of like a 1930s Fleischer Popeye cartoon or something.
That is exactly what it is. It is actually a cartoon. I looked it up and watched it a little bit, as much as I could stand to watch a cartoon from Japan from 1936. And indeed, at one point, there is a cup marching along the frame. I'm like, well, I'll be goddamn. Like, you've got to be kidding me. There's a cup with a little straw sticking out of his head. Like, I'm just like, okay. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if these guys fucking watched that cartoon, but there he is. There he is, Cuphead in the 30s.
Someone's gonna have a lawsuit.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, exactly. The Omocha Baku Shirizo Daisanwa estate is gonna have their ass. So I was glad earlier this year when Cuphead finally came out for the Switch, because I'd been hoping and waiting for this game to come out for the Switch, because I was never going to buy an Xbox One. And this was one of the only Xbox exclusives that ever bothered me. And I bought this. I'm happy that it came out on Switch. I wanted to support these guys. And now that I've played it, this game is charming. And I fucking hate it.
Ha.
See, that's why, like, I have been itching to play this game ever since it was
Don't.
announced, because, like, I adore old, like, 30s, 40s cartoon style, and seeing this, like, hand-animated games, like, I want to play this, and then watching gameplay of it, like, it's coming on Switch, like, oh, if I buy this, I will snap my Switch in half.
It's fucking infuriating. And I don't want to hear all that, like, oh, just get good, because it's not a matter of getting good, because it's baked into the game that, like, you're gonna die this many times playing, like, any of these fucking levels. And that's just, it's such a frustrating design choice to me. Like, when you get to the point where you actually know what each boss is gonna do and you're gonna fucking beat them, the fights are over in like 90 seconds to 2 minutes. And in the 60 or so tries before that, it's the most infuriating fucking game I've ever played. Because,
See, that's
like, ooh.
I want to play it and I want to experience it, but also I feel like I could experience this game much better watching videos of better people playing this game. It's like, I just want to see the animation and the aesthetics and the music and how it all fits. But I also don't want to replay the same boss fight 90 times in order to beat it.
Dude, yeah, seriously. I was, like I said, I bought it. I've been playing it. I was talking with Whitney in the lead up to the show. She's like, so what'd you pick? I'm like, Cuphead. She's like, oh, cool. I'm like, I think I fucking hate it. She's like, really? You do? I'm like, yeah, it's fucking infuriating. She's like, well, it's fun for me to watch you play it. I'm like, yeah, that's because you're not playing it. Like, there's beautiful fucking hand-drawn animation all over this game. There's interesting character designs and, like, crazy shit just popping off. And if I'm not dying, it looks really fucking cool. But the problem is I'm usually dying. Like,
yeah, because there's
man.
one of the, I was looking at, it's like one of the first bosses is like a slime, like a very classic, like basic slime enemy, and then eventually, like
Legrand,
like as you fight it, eventually you kill it, and then you have to fight its tombstone as it starts attacking you.
See, and that's, my main pet peeve with this game is it's like, okay, you figure out these things about each boss, like, Goopy Legrand, the slime. It starts out and he's hopping back and forth. So you gotta, you gotta, just real quick to lay it out. You got a real basic set of mechanics when you're on foot. You're running, you're gunning. Eventually, you can unlock more weapons like a spread shot, a homing shot, a charge shot, and you got a dash button. So you're running, you're dashing to evade, you're shooting the guy when you got your opening, and you're dodging his attacks. He does things like a boxing glove where he throws it and it takes up almost full screen. Got a duck. He jumps around kind of random. He bounces off the wall and sometimes comes in a weird trajectory. You got to dodge. And then once, you kill him, you think, oh, the fight's like over or nearly over. And no, his tombstone pops up. And like, there's no way anybody could beat any of these things on like the first couple of go-arounds, because you got to play through all these fucking phases of these fights to learn all the patterns. Like, it's just such a frustrating design. And I know it's meant to be that way, but it's just like, man, this game's got so much goddamn charm and it's not very fun. Like, it's strange, man. Like,
well, and the only thing that really bothers me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember hearing that there is like an easy mode to this game, but if you play the easy mode, you don't get to fight like every phase of the boss.
See, I haven't even bothered bumping it down because, when you choose the boss, it says simple or normal. And so I always just go normal. And normal is devastatingly butt-fuckingly frustrating. Like, it's just ridiculous. So
I
yeah,
remember reading that there's
I
like
never even bothered with fucking easy mode. I feel insulted by easy modes typically, but in this game, maybe I should have gone with it a couple of times.
I remember reading it's like, oh, there is an easy mode. Like if you can't devote that time or if it's too difficult, everything, like, don't worry, we'll accommodate you. But you won't get to experience the full game because fuck you, pussy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're begging me to go watch this on YouTube. Like you're begging me to not play your fucking game. Because seriously, the animations are charming. The fucking, like the multiple phases of the bosses are just like they'll catch you at like just completely off guard and blow your fucking mind. But like just the number of ways you can be damaged by some of these bosses is just so fucking frustrating. I didn't even know there are the levels where you're running and gunning, which are like platforming levels, very frustrating. There's the levels where you just fight a boss on foot, not the worst, honestly, some of the easiest levels in the game. And then there are these fucking plane levels, your Cuphead flying a little fucking plane, and none of the fucking power-ups that you've bought apply to the plane. You got a straightforward shot, or you can change shots, and you got a little bomber like lob shot. It comes in at an angle. And these plane levels are some of the most frustrating goddamn things I've ever played. It's crazy. I don't know how I can have less fun fighting a blimp with a Betty Boop face on it, or a fucking bird sticking his head out of a birdhouse and like barfing eggs at me. I'm like, I hate this. Like, this is crazy. I should love this. And, I keep on wanting to like stop and soak up the fucking 30s of it all and the cartoonness of it all. But you can't. You can't fucking blink if you don't want to get fucking hit with something. It's absurd.
You are really selling this game on me so hard right now. Like, this.
Go buy it, you fucking asshole.
Like, goddamn, this sounds really right up my alley.
It's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, the fucking like the Zeppelin fight, you're fighting against Hilda Berg, the threatening Zeppelin, and when it starts out, she's just in like the shape of a blimp. I don't remember exactly what it is, but like one of the things that'll catch you off guard is sometimes she'll laugh and the word "ha" flies out of her mouth and it can hit you, and it's like, God damn it.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but it's a female Zeppelin named Hilda Berg.
Yeah.
That is fucking great.
Oh, all the names are great. Everything about this game's charming. But yeah, it's just so fucking frustrating to play the game because she starts out as a Zeppelin and she's like, shooting stuff at you, and she can laugh and hit you with the literal word "ha," and you never see it coming. And then she starts turning into constellations and attacking you with various attacks. And then eventually she turns into the fucking moon. And it's like a screen-filling boss. Like, the game is crazy. And, like, I can't even describe how, like, just awesome some of the shit is to see. But it's impossible to enjoy it. Because, like, all you're focusing on is, like, dodging things and fucking trying to get like your super shot, and you can build up a super shot. If you build up 5 bars of a super shot, you can do like an ultra shot. And in those plane levels, the ultra shot is the most frustrating thing ever because the whole plane turns into a bomb and you have to like kamikaze the fucking boss, and it's like, I don't want to get that close to that thing. I want to just shoot a fucking giant beam at it. Like, give me the beam. Yeah.
It kind of sounds like Cuphead is the video game equivalent of like The Matrix or John Wick or like a Jackie Chan movie, where it's like, I love watching it, but I don't want to be in the middle of it. Like,
right.
I should not be involved in this. Can I just watch this take place in front of me?
God, what I wouldn't give for a 30s animated John Wick game where it's just like a serious boss rush and a couple of levels. Like, I'd be so into that.
It's just John Wick with like giant googly eyes.
Yeah. Every level starts off TikTok, Mr. Wick, and then you just have to go for it. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's charming. Like the bosses are charming. The like my favorite ones. There's the Flower in Floral Fury, which is just really fucking cool looking. He's got funny dance moves. You have to fight a couple of frogs that eventually turn into a slot machine. There's the carnival level where you're fighting a boss who's like a terrifying clown who.
But you repeat yourself.
I'm saying, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry for the redundancy there. But yeah, he's a clown who starts out riding a little bumper car that he tries to hit you with, and then turns into a giant balloon and starts shooting balloon animals at you. Then eventually he's riding a carousel horse and shooting like horseshoes at you. And then I honestly don't remember what the last phase is because it's the last part I beat, and I just like wanted to rush through it. It's the game's charming. It's just not very much fun to play, and I'm like doing it out of a sense of obligation because it's short. Like every time I fucking beat a few things in this and then turn it off and go like just furiously like just go to bed, I come back the next day, it's like, oh, your percentage went from like 40 to like 75. I'm like, fuck, I'm almost done with the game. Like this game's short. Like I gotta beat this now. Like fuck this game. I won't be bested by this game.
The game is short when you know what you're doing. When you don't, it's a fucking multi-hour investment.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you actually were able to beat the bosses in short order, this game I assume would be like a speedrunner's dream, and you look like a fucking awesome like badass for doing it. But like there, what was the word that Johnny used during like Games Done Quick? RNG, random number generation.
Yeah.
There's entirely too much of that because seriously, it's not even like patterns. Like there's multiple things that every boss can do that you have to be aware of. Like it's not like, oh, this guy goes forward, then he goes back, and then back again. Like no, sometimes he goes forward, or back. Like nothing is consistent from like moment to moment. It's
oh my god,
it's crazy. Like it's not just like strict patterns. It's like, okay, well, when it's this phase, it could be any of these things, and eventually you got to memorize the 3 or 4 things that can be going on in any given phase of any of these boss fights. And I'm gonna beat this game. I'm not gonna be defeated by it, and then I'm gonna delete the data from my Switch and never go back to this game ever fucking again. Like
see, the more that you say it makes me want to buy the game less, but just watch the game more. Because I do love this game. It's like, but I don't have the temperament for this. I really don't.
No, it's so fucking charming. The music is phenomenal. Like, it's nothing but big band swing music. And, the levels are just fucking gorgeously designed. And see, the other thing that I hate about some of these, like, boss fight designs, like the plane levels, they play with background and foreground. And so, like, the foreground will obscure when the boss shoots something at you. So, like, you're paying attention to one thing, and then, like, a little homing missile comes out of nowhere and bops you in the butt because it fucking came out of the boss while something swooped past in the foreground. It's just like, God damn, this fucking game. They thought of every possible way to fuck you over. Like, they know you can't look at this whole screen. But yeah, no, it's just it's a charming fucking game, and I want them to make more. And I'm wondering if I'm gonna download the DLC. The DLC is still coming. The delicious last course of Cuphead. It's still out there, and it hasn't come out yet, and I don't know if I'm gonna get it because
is it just like more of the same? Just like
I don't know. I don't know if it's just like new boss fights or what. I know there's a new playable character. There's like the lovely Miss Chalice, and I don't really know what it is. So I'll wait and see what it actually is, and then probably never download it because as much as I love this game and love everything about what it represents, I fucking hate this game. Like I was so excited to play this game, and like I can take bullet hell shooters. I'm fine with that, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I have this kind of fucking time or like, masochism left in my fucking life. Like I fucking hate this. But it's good. It's like I said, I think the good outweighs the bad, but I want to beat it and never play it again. Like that's kind of my assessment. Like I don't know where I'd score it, but it's like, yeah, I want to get through this. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid repeatedly. Like 200 times you got to rip a Band-Aid off. And then eventually you figure out you got to go with the hair, not against it. And the game just gets good all of a sudden. But
Thank you for,
Yeah.
because I was on the fence about buying this game and playing it myself. Thank you for solidifying that this is a very hard watch this game.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
serious. Like, fucking, like, just watch as much of it as you want, because, like, you know, the characters are charming. Cuphead and Mugman, they're charming. But, like, the real centerpiece in this game is everything the bosses do. And if you watch a YouTube video and just take in every single frame of fucking animation for this game, you're going to get everything you need out of it. Fuck playing it. That's my assessment. Like, the game's gorgeous. The music is fucking phenomenal. Fuck playing it.
I will snap my Switch in half.
Please do, man. The sound when you snap your Switch in half. You said snap. That's going to be a new thing. But yeah, so fuck yeah. God damn it, I just minimized it. I don't want to do it again.
Can't do that.
Johnny, so you know, I don't believe that we have any sort of tiebreaker plan for this episode, do we?
Let's see what happens.
I believe the tiebreaker is
Calculating
Jesse
computer
has the
activated.
ability.
Computers. Beeps.
Space!
Boops. Scoring complete. This game's winner is... John Harrington.
Hey! I don't know how to explain that, but I'm into it.
I believe Jesse just snapped.
Oh, did he? Shit!
Yeah.
Jesse snapped you in the win.
Oh, he snapped me. See, I gotta pay better attention to this.
Very generous of him.
Man, I'm glad he snapped me back to the fridge to get those last couple of beers. It really helped our production values here at the end of the show. Well, fuck yeah, man. Excellent show. You know, I guess I won it just by dispensing that much salt over Cuphead. Like, I filled the show with salt and came out on top of Salt Mountain. Fantastic. So I've been thinking themes for the next game. You know, we got episode 157 coming up, and I could do one of my classic free associations to show Johnny just how easy it is to come up with a theme for any given number. You know, I could do that, but okay, so here it goes. It's episode 157. Again, you got to take away the one. You got episode 57, Passenger 57, starring Wesley Snipes, games with snipers. No, that's not the theme. Here's the theme, baby. I just
57.
Games
you
with black
play while you
people?
eat steak?
Games with sauce. No, I just went to Target, and I don't know if anybody realizes this. The PlayStation Classic garbage console that is deeply discounted over at Target right now. Instead of $100, you can get it for $26, like I did today. And so the theme for next week, it's games on the PlayStation 1. That's right. That system that we all owned and played. I can see the look of excitement washing over David's face. This is an unsnappable theme. Games on the
I'm
PlayStation.
not snapping. This is a fantastic theme. I'm
Fuck
gonna
yeah,
keep my
Jesse's
hands
ready.
like this. Can't snap like this.
Yeah, yeah.
No
mean,
snap.
Jesse's gauntlet is fully erect.
Some might call this theme fantastic. I might call this theme rough, but we'll see what happens.
It's going to be great. No matter what, we got games on the PlayStation 1 coming for next week's episode. Thank you so much for listening this week. We really appreciate you guys listening. Thank you to everybody joining us live. We're live every Wednesday night at 9, youtube.com/GameThatTune, facebook.com/GameThatTune, twitch.tv/GameThatTune. Thank you to everybody chatting along with us. You can join us in our Discord. Head over to GameThatTune.com. Find our Discord link there. Thanks to everybody listening in podcast form. Our podcasts come out on Wednesday mornings and either in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and we appreciate you listening there. Thanks to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune. It's the home for fun exclusives. We've got Game That Tune gyms, even though this week the Game That Tune Gym Showdown was on the regular feed. We got our GTT mixtapes. We got Jesse's Covered Up series. We've got movie commentaries that we're going to get back on track here in the next little bit. And yeah, we just got a lot of fun going over there. It helps us run our 24/7 video game music live stream that's on YouTube. And we really appreciate you guys' support. So check out patreon.com/GameThatTune. Thank you to our superfan tier producers, Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens. You're all fantastic, and we appreciate the support. We didn't, Jesse literally snapped away the request this week. So no request this week, but we do appreciate it when you send us requests. Hit us up, gamethattune@gmail.com. Hit us up in the request section of the Discord. Hit us up on Twitter at GameThatTune, or you can find us individually on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at JGangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan Jr.
You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
And you can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
Hell yeah, fellas. And we're going out with my bonus tunes. We got PlayStation games coming next week. Got my PlayStation Classic all plugged in, ready to go. So it's gotta be some fantastic classic tunes. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, The Tragic Prince. Shout out to Michiru Yamane. Peace out, everybody. Johnny, you're not going to let that ride for a minute? It's all right. It's too late. Mega Man 3 is copyright 1990, Capcom Company Limited. Pokemon Sun and Moon are copyright 2016, Game Freak Incorporated, Nintendo of America Incorporated, Creatures Incorporated, and the Pokemon Company. Blue Dragon is copyright 2007, Microsoft Corporation. Cuphead is copyright 2017, 2019, Studio MDHR Entertainment Incorporated.